From viewers confused by how much money they could be getting from a third stimulus payment. There are two different dollar amounts you have seen lately involving children and their parents. One relates to the third stimulus check and the other is an expansion of the child tax credit. So here's the difference. Under the current stimulus proposal, Americans would receive a one-time payment of $1,400 if they make $75,000 or less, and you would get an extra $1,400 for each dependent. Unlike the stimulus check, the child tax credit is something parents deal with every tax season. Right now, parents get $2,000 per year, but the COVID relief bill would increase that to $3,600 for children under 6, and then it would move to $3,000 for children who are between the age of 6 and 17. There's no salary cap for this tax credit. Now, Democrats' goals have been to Their goal has been to get this COVID relief bill approved by mid-March.